Let's see, my drink. Everything's set up. Got 2 drinks, I guess. Making sure we're online. Go out here and post a new link. All the normal stuff. We're back. We are back with some more. Is it a meta? I took last week off because I was moving into this beautiful house. It's not fully set up yet. I feel like I look quite a bit better than I did before. Just a little bit. Feels like a shiny light and a cool mic and all that stuff. So hopefully I sound good. Please let me know if I do sound good. Oh, I need to update this screen title. Is it a meta? 3/10/22. Let's update that. Hopefully that doesn't screw some things up. And then let me post this out here on the click stuff. And we'll get started. Lots to talk about today. I had a whole week off, so I had a lot to think about. Right. Rebuild. All right. So yeah, as I said on the post from earlier today, I usually try to break these up into 2 separate sections. The first one is we will talk about the Asgardian keyword, see if there's anything there. Now, we said before I took the week break, we set our gauntlet. So we know what our gauntlet is now. We just had a big event, the Brad 3v3 event. That's really hard to play into the gauntlet because you're limited on figures, but you could take in mind the different archetypes. And I don't think we were far off. So I think the gauntlet that we set before was good. So we will be kind of measuring our teams based off of that. Which, as a friendly reminder, for not just you, but for me, let's see, I think it's on my phone. I think I took a picture of what we set the meta as before. I think I did. Just a second. We are going to talk about Asgardian keyword, and then we're going to talk Silver Age. I've seen a lot of, just recently, a lot of Silver Age events popping up online. I know Gongai up in the Northwest doing a Silver Age. I saw that today. Saw David Creighton's doing one. So I figured the second half, we'll talk some Silver Age. I think it's finally ramping up, which I'm excited for. Super excited for. But first I wanted to look up and see what we had set last week. I could just look up a video real quick if I need to. What it was last week. Yeah, I guess I'll have to do that. So that was a dummy and I didn't save it. So let me look at my videos real quick and I'll tell you what it was, what we had set it as. I guess I took 2 weeks off. Maybe, did I take 2 weeks off? I may have taken 2 weeks off. If so, I apologize. All right. So we had 6 teams that we had to focus on that we said is our threshold for setting the meta, right? The 6 teams are monster teams, which is absolutely still true. That's your Sky Tyrants, Scarabs, Jubilees, Wendigos, Kamish, a lot of different pieces. That's probably one of the biggest ones out there right now. You've got your Thanos teams, which is absolutely still true. You've got your Gladiator teams, which I don't know if I saw any Gladiator teams in the 3v3. So I haven't done a deep dive into that yet, but that'd be interesting if that wasn't there. Then you have your alpha teams, which that is a we split that between animal team and scientist team, which PJ's team won the event, and he was playing a Wrecker Prime scientist team. So there you go. Then you have an X-Men team. I know I faced 2 of those, so those are definitely relevant. And then the last one was like a defensive-minded team, which that one I don't recall seeing any of those. So I know in the tournament at least 4 out of the 6 were there. Just keep in mind it's a 3v3, and there was a special Highlander rule in it, so that meant that you couldn't share any figures between teams, so that kind of limited some of it. But hey, 4 out of 6 I'm willing to take. So what we're going to start with today is we are going to talk Asgardian. It's a keyword that got a lot of love in War of the Realms. A lot of love in War of the Realms. But was it enough love? That's what I want to know. Was it enough love to be interesting and to make meta? So the first figure we're going to talk about, and what we do every time we try to build something, is we go through and we just pick up all the pieces that we think could be buildable with. So we go through rounds, we go through the list, and we say, these are all our pieces. What pieces would we build around? That's how my usual approach, at least for these. So if we're looking strictly for Asgardian, and I know there's a workaround for certain things, we'll get to that. Let's go through some. So we've got this Hammer, Rogue, Pass. Definitely not good enough. Storm, man, this brings me back to that Storm. She was a great call-in piece. Lady Phoenix. You know, I haven't looked at her in a while. She can shoot through blocking, is adjacent to a character named Odin. She can heal. She's got Pulse Wave later, and another character named Phoenix. Oh, she's got that ancient incarnation thing. That's kind of neat, but no. These are the Fast Forces. They've really been doing something weird with the Fast Forces. But hey, 25-point TK outwit. I won't ignore that, just in case I don't have any other options. How do you guys feel about the shifting focus Thors? I know on our live stream of the tier maker, we basically threw all of them into the garbage, the trash. 75 points for what they provide, and you look at the 75 points that Wonder Woman provides, really hard to compare, because you've got at least 3 really good Wonder Women out of 4, I think. Whereas all these Thors, they're not good at all. Yeah, I don't think they are either. The only interesting one I would say is the super rare one. Isn't there this one? Super rare one because of that hammer throw power, improved targeting, destroy blocking characters, make a close attack regardless of adjacency, targeting all opposing characters within 6 squares along a direct line of fire. Each character is dealt Thor's printed damage value instead of normal damage. After resolutions, destroy any walls or squares of blocking terrain along the line of fire. That's neat. Like that's definitely neat. That's kind of it. And it's only a 10 attack. So probably no to the Thor. Executioner. I mean, those aren't bad stats, but I'm not paying 90 points for a charge piece like this. Lokis. All right, we'll put the Lokis on the list, obviously, because they do some interesting things. I'm still not 100% sold on the Lokis, but we'll put them on the list. Lady Sif. All right, so she's got some free attacks going on if you roll a 1 on your attack rolls. The question I have is how often are you rolling 1 on attack rolls? Because usually you're going to try to get out of them. So, probably no to her. No to Spider-Man. 75 points. Is it worth that dial? This isn't looking good so far. Scourge. Well. Dr. Annabelle Riggs. She gets replaced with the Valkyrie. 26 Valkyrie. So this is like a shifting focus, but not quite shifting focus, because you're switching between 2 different characters. Little side note, how do you guys feel about the Guardians of the Galaxy team ability? It's new. I feel like no one has hyped it up. Has anybody played it locally or successfully? I assume it's really, really good against emotional modifier because it doesn't do anything for emotional modifier. Like emotional modifier does nothing towards your character, so that's got to be good. It is copyable, so maybe it's something. I don't know. That's a good question. Kid Loki. We'll put Kid Loki on there just because that's pretty solid, and we'll talk about Destroyer a little bit. Angela, pretty boring. Donald Blake, pretty boring. King Ulick. Alright, so I'm gonna put King. Dude, missed you? Aw, I missed you too. Yeah, I've been busy getting into the house. Office is just now getting all set up, looking pretty. I still got some things to do, some shelves to fill up. All my clicks are still downstairs, so I still got to bring all of those pieces back up. So lots to do still. But you know what? I wanted to take a night off and talk to you guys. I missed you guys too. So I played against a King Ulick and Sealed. Are those rock trolls anything good? I like generating pieces. You review the set of what is meta? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm probably saying no to King Ulick. He did not like that decision, but it's not enough. He doesn't present enough to actually play at 65 points. Curse. I honestly forgot this figure existed. He doesn't do enough for what I want. Throg, though. I'm gonna put Throg on there, and I'll put Frog Thor on there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not building it. I'm not saying they're definitely on the team. I'm just saying I'm gonna consider them. All right. So Mary Jane obviously is the catalyst on why I'm even considering Asgardian, because she allows you to mix Asgardian or deity together with Spider-Man family. So I want to look at Asgardian pure, then we'll see about sprinkling in some deity or Spider-Man, and I know that might turn into a Spider-Man family, but I think that's why Asgardian might have enough to add in with the deities and the Spider-Man families. It's all thanks to 40-point Mary Jade. Thunderstrike. No, definitely not Thunderstrike. Valkyrie, no, I'm seeing way too much charge. All right, so I know on the on our live stream reviewing this set, Tier Maker, I had her up a notch, saying there might be potential there because she has a dark side ability, right? She has the throw down a Mjolnir, move 6/6 or whatever, and then you get to make a close attack. I played her in a sealed event locally, and I don't know if it's just I'm not used to dark side. It could be that. It just didn't feel good. Like, it just wasn't great. Now her charging for 10, that's nice. Her having ESD and impervious, that's nice. But she just wasn't doing it for me. I don't know why. So I'm not gonna put her on the team. This is shifting focus Thor. We'll put Daredevil because he's the taxi. 75 points is a lot, but he does bring a lot, so. Gamora. Oh man, talk about a hot topic. Gamora. I've heard good things and bad things about Gamora. Has anybody been playtesting Gamora? And how have things gone with Gamora Prime? Because I'm looking at her, and I think she's neat, but I don't know. She's a target, like a big target. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put her on the list, but I'm not sure. Hela. All right, so Hela got the nerf we were all expecting. She has a change. Whenever standard character is KO'd by an effect opposing to them, generate a grave marker, which is fine, perfectly fine, because she still is able to create a grave marker by succeeding at leadership. So I'm going to put her on the list. Probably not going to make the cut, though. Oh, I don't know why I put Valkyrie on there. Oh, this is the Mr. Horse Valkyrie. No. Crusader's pretty cool, by the way. I played Crusader in a sealed event. She was nice at 75 points, but no. I know a lot of people are going to give me grief. Iron Allfather, no. Okay, so this is the destroyer that goes with Kid Loki. So we'll add him. Prime Destroyer, you will never play Prime Destroyer on your team. You will always have Prime Destroyer on your sideline. At least in my opinion. Malekith is bad. This Thor is no joke. Hypersonic for 5, 19, you get the exploit with that. No joke about that. I think you get the exploit with that. He's not good at 100. You'd want to play him at 175. If he had Power Cosmic, I'd consider it. But he doesn't. Alright. So this is a gal I am intimately familiar with from the 3v3. I actually played her in all but one game as an Avengers switch-in piece. She is deceptively good. A little frustrating to figure out how to use her lurkers. Basically, a lot of times I was afraid she was going to die because she only takes it 4 hits, like 4 damage and side. Excuse me. So I would roll for her trait, and then I end up getting a 6 or something at the beginning. So I'd just pop out the lurker because I think she'd die, and then she wouldn't die. And you can only have one lurker, and lurker has no move and attack. Now he does have flurry 10 for 3. If one of the opposing character was KO'd, he gets a +2 to his attack. If a friendly was KO'd or something, it's -2 to his attack or something like that. So lurker was absolutely relevant. I'm going to put her on the team because she is really good. Just not 100% sure yet. Human Torch. All right, so Human Torch. Don't think Human Torch makes the cut when it comes to an Asgardian team. I think he makes the cut for maybe a Fantastic Four team, but not Asgardian. Doctor Strange, no, not a fan. Rocket Raccoon, we'll put him on there, but not a huge fan. Venom. I'd say no to Venom. Spider-Man, no. I'll say yes to She-Hulk because she may have uses. I didn't realize all these chases actually had Asgardian. That's neat. All right, so none of these old pieces. We could say maybe Surtur. Maybe Ymir. but not Thor Loki. That doesn't count as a Asgardian. That's a tentpole team. All right, so we got this other Loki from Empire. Not a fan. Oh yeah, we got Big Bad Thor, which isn't very good. We've got Spider Viking. We'll come back to him. Ross Solomon. Huh. I forgot about this piece. I'm not really feeling any of these other Thors. What about you guys? This Thor's good. The other Chase Thor. That's not bad. At I like him more at 75. Moonstar. Then you got this Thor, no Eitri. Eitri might make the team. Eitri might make the team. I'm hoping you equip is pretty big, and if he's already themed, it's not bad. No Enchantress, no this Loki. All right. So these are all our Asgardian pieces. I don't feel great about this keyword just right off the bat. We've got a TK piece, we've got a Swarm Loki type piece. We've got Throg, which I'm going to take Throg off. He's cool for 35 points, but if you get stuck on a map with no water, he's no good. I feel like Frog Thor is not the better prime, so I don't think I would play him. Ella probably doesn't have enough. So obviously one team that sticks out is the Destroyer Kid Loki teams. Is there a way? Destroyer's a giant, so there's no way to give him. If he was able to have the space gem, this would be way easier. But there's no way to give him any more passengers. Let's build with this first and see what we think about it. I know people have been talking Kid Loki and Destroyer is a good enough. Oh, whoopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. Gotta log in. Do that real quick. All right. Here we go. This is all my Avengers stuff from 3v3. All right. So let's look at Kid Loki. I'm definitely going to have to pick him up real quick because I definitely do not have a token of Kid Loki. That is for sure. Where's Kid Loki? Oh, they don't even have one Kid Loki. Or no, wait. Kid Loki is... Where is he? Oh, they don't even have any of the primes. Oh no, they do have a prime. So I've got this for the round. Sorry, I'm having to download. Download some things real quick. War of the Realms. Where did I put my War of the Realms stuff? Roll 20 icons. There it is. War of the Realms. All right. Got Destroyer. And we'll go ahead and bring her in. Now, you obviously can't do 2 Destroyers. That doesn't work. Kid Loki's 20. Oh, there he is. Found him. I need to get some music. I would, if I wasn't streaming to YouTube, I'd play some music in the background or something. It's a little quiet. So you could go 3 Kid Lokis in a Destroyer. Now, once again, this isn't great. It's gimmicky. Once again, the concept is this. Power action with Kid Loki is adjacent to a friendly destroyer. Give that destroyer a move action as free. After resolutions, the destroyer may make an attack. Okay, simple. So he gets a move and make an attack, like a Krang type scenario. 12 and 4, 7 range. He gets a move, 7 for 7. And that was full movement? Yeah. So, we'll just do this for a second. I just want to see the reach. So he could be TK'd because he has a single base. So you could TK him out, TK the other guy out. Power action 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he has a 7 range. So not quite full map reach. Not quite. No, wait, he had a thing that lets him move, right? Let me look at him. Where'd he go? He does have sidestep. Ah! Okay. So you could TK up. You don't have the range to get up there. Sidestep up 1. And then do it, because the Lokis definitely do not have a move. Oh, that's not the move. They only have mind control, so. But from there, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can at least get the front line. Can't get back line. But once again, Destroyer only has 1 target, which feels bad. He can't be equipped with anything. Yeah, I don't love this. I mean, it's a cool concept. Like, he doesn't even shoot through, like, blocking or anything like that. Like, I know he's a giant, but I feel like that's just not much. Like, you can even pew him 1, like, get him down to click 4, and he's still 12 for 4, but that's all close, so not nearly as good. So, all right, so I'm thinking I'm not going to mess anymore with the Kid Loki and Destroyer. I don't think that's there. If we went back to our teams, monster teams, just laugh because you only get 1 shot, and they could just body block with Wendigos or whoever, a Proteus, and you could just be like, okay, I killed Proteus, okay. Well, this guy's dead next turn because Sky Tyrant can come in, hit him for 4, hit him for 4. I hate using the Sky Tyrant reference. I hate doing that. I just do. But, you know. What am I doing with my hair? So anyway. So no to Kid Loki's. Not happening. Who else do we try to build around? I'm not ready to jump on the Jane train and go with Asgardian or deity. Not feeling that. Gamora. Man, once again, I don't know what it is. I'm just struggling with choosing, like, enjoying Gamora. Like, thinking she's got potential or anything. What do you guys think? Okay, checking something real quick. Sorry about that. All right. So when she targets more than one character with an attack, instead of dividing the damage she deals are printed, and then if she targets a single person, they can't use defensive powers. And that's basically it, right? Just 7 range. Was her non-60 any better? 125? No. No, would not pay 60 something for that. I don't know. She's not in my wheelhouse, I don't think. Just not feeling her. I mean, I get it. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the pieces we have here, I just don't feel good enough about Asgardian to think that they have enough. Just period. On their own. But luckily, we don't have to worry about it on their own because we do have Mary Jane, which opens up Asgardian the Spider-Man family. So, how do we feel about that? Way better, obviously. Because you have access to deity, which deity is pretty sweet. You have let's see, what's our good deity people? Thanos? Yeah, no, we're not gonna build around Thanos. Blackheart? We'll include Blackheart. That gives you at least someone to help build around. Magneto, Apocalypse, Omega. No. Hmm. Got some Proteus to beef up the thing. Now we could go down to DC. Look at what they've got. Scarab. That's my initial look see. Yeah, nothing else. Okay, so you can build a team with like Mary Jane, Scarab, Blackheart. See, the only reason I'm looking at She-Hulk is because she does have the free TK, which is nice. Probably no for her, too. Probably a no for her. Let's see. So my heavy hitters here are obviously Blackheart, which you can equip. Do we feel like Daredevil at 75 is enough? Like, is that too expensive? Because you do have other taxis you could technically bring in now that we're going Spider-Man. Spider-Man as Guardians. You could bring in Spider-Pharaoh, which then give you Ruler. So let's start building this out a little bit. Do I have Mary Jane out here? I have old Mary Jane out Prime Gamora is better on Police, Double Flash, Martian Manhunter. Even then, she doesn't get full reach without a perplex in the movement. See, even getting her out there, though, it's not like she's just wrecking house, right? Like, she's still gotta... She'll hit and maybe kill something, maybe a couple things with the 3 exploit, but it's not like everyone's... Like, it's not like Sky Tyrant or something where everything's dead. I guess that's my point. You send her out there, hope you hit stuff, and then just expect her to die. If so, that's fine. Alright, so we got Mary Jane. We'll do Blackheart. Blackheart! We'll do Scarab. It's Scarab. We need some more Asgardians. We could do Surtur and Ymir at some point. We were going to do Spider Pharaoh. So that's 60, or is she 65? No, 60, 135, 185, 205? No, 225? You can play like 2 black cards, but at that point, why even play both? I mean, I think they both have ruler, don't they? Black heart's a ruler, yeah. Scarab's a ruler, so there's no point in playing Mary Jane at that point. That's funny. So, is there any other deities you want on the team? Torch. No. I mean, I guess we would get you Surtur. No, Surtur's got ruler. Ymir's got ruler. And I guess it would just be for Thanos. Yeah, guys, I think I'm going to just call it. I don't think... I was hoping Asgardian had more to it. Had more to offer as far as pieces go, but I'm just not... It has good individual pieces, like Daredevil's good, Mary Jane's good, but Mary Jane's good for more the deity part. Rocket Raccoon's better on different things. Black Widow's better on Avengers, but it's just... The big pieces, the bigger pieces we got from War of the Realms is just not doing it. Like, if this Thor, the closest Thor we got to decent, if this one was 150, I would probably be game. The reason I'm not now is because I cannot currently equip him with, I cannot make him a Herald. Because I would want to give him Power Cosmic. And I can't. Because he's over 150. So, wrapping all up for this first half, or first section is, I don't think Asgardian is there. The Kid Loki and Destroyer, unless there's something I'm missing. This is also just not there. It's a cool, maybe a win a map fun type thing. But I don't think it's good enough to play consistently in the meta. Alright, so let's talk about... before we go to the second one, I did get a question from somebody. Someone was nice enough to put on the post. I figure he wanted to see me try to build something with, so I figure in this halftime before we go into the second one, I would look at it. And this was from Wesley Robertson. He asked me, can you make a meta team around either the Unicorn Deadpool or the Ultra Chase Birthday Cake Deadpool? All right. So we'll wait on the Unicorn Deadpool because that's Silver Age. We're gonna get to Silver Age. But let's look at this other Ultra Chase. Ultra Chase Deadpool. So he's got two different ones, 200 and 100. I don't think. Well, 5 clicks. No, I don't. He doesn't bring enough to the table for 200. I think he brings more than enough at 100. And honestly, I hadn't really considered him for Avengers. Let me look at it real quick. So what does he do? Targeting characters and adjacent. He has poison. When Deadpool uses it, he may treat characters with a slice of cake token that are not within 6 squares as adjacent. When he hits, give each character without a slice of cake token a slice of cake token. Free. Choose a character within range of line of fire. Until your next turn, Deadpool can use the effect of any equipment equipped to that character, and the chosen character cannot use the effect of any equipment. That's pretty good. I like that. And then he has the stock book. Stop, regen, super senses. When the click is first revealed, place all opposing characters with a slice of cake token adjacent to Deadpool, and Deadpool gains immunity until your next turn. Okay. Alright. I don't hate that. So realistically, where he's going to see play is probably switch out teams, if I'm being brutally honest. Either Avengers or X-Men. His other keywords are bad. Assassin, Deadpool Corps, Thunderbolts, Weapon X, X-Force, not good. So he can fit on an X-Men team and an Avengers team, and both of those are just switch out teams. So on my team, I play with a 100-point Black Widow. Would I ever consider Deadpool? Probably not. But that's because Avengers is so strict. X-Men's pretty strict too. So what he's good against, he has... He's got the one rollout, which isn't great. Three bolts is pretty good. So you could give him something like Alchemical Fire. If you give him that, and then he'd be able to do Penetrating Energy Explosion, that could be huge. He's only got a 12 range of attack range, basically. 6 and 6. So if we're saying this is him, he could move up 6 and then attack within 6. It's not bad, not great, but not bad. Yeah, I would probably leave him on an X-Men team or an Avengers team. I probably would have made for some. Unlike the other Deadpool. Now, the other Deadpool, the other Cake Deadpool, that's the, whatchamacallit, the play-at-home one. Beginning of game, give each friendly character a goodie bag, roll a d6. This game, friendly characters have the listed effect. 1 or 2 balloons free, remove a gold goodie bag and gain the wing symbol. 3 or 4, they heal 2, or 5, 6, they modify damage this turn. Like, you could play him for that. That might be worth it. But Ultra Chase, stick to 100, play him on an X-Men or an Avengers switch out team. He's not bad if you could give him Alchemical Fire. Gotta protect him, though. I mean, I know he's not going to die in a single turn, because if they get him here, he'll have immune, and you just can't do anything about that. And then he can regen. So he's annoying 100 points, especially with Plasticity. And triple target, yeah. I'm liking him a little bit more now that I'm talking about him, but not enough to actually play him. Alright, so let's talk about Silver Age. So we have a few tournaments popping up with Silver Age. And so Silver Age, if you guys aren't familiar, Silver Age is the format that WizKids announced last year. I could actually pull it up, the announcement. It's still up there. WizKids Silver Age. So around this time last year, they announced Silver Age, and you're like, guys, get ready. This is awesome. And it's what people have been asking for. They were we wanted something to be able to use our old figures, something supported as opposed to just Majestics and other stuff. And this is what they gave us. So Silver Age starts with Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Basically new cards forward. It includes the 2017 Con LEs up. If it has a new card, it's legal, basically. The only pieces they banned was the Blackbird, most likely because it has the resource style with the ID cards. And then Fast Forces Penguin. If you don't know why they banned a Fast Forces Penguin, don't get me started. The main thing about him is he allows you to attack your own person. Like someone can, as I call it, punch the penguin. And that just broke certain things. It just broke certain mechanics where it's like, if you hit, this happens. And yeah. It's just not great. So the watch list, everything on this watch list is some of the big winners and a bunch of don't die figures, and then ID cards. So ID cards are legal. The only ones we have are the ones from Xavier School and the Connelly ones. So we had the Arkham Asylum one. So Harley, Joker, those should be legal as well. And then that was rotation, which I guess we're getting close to rotation, so we got to keep that in mind. So we are starting with Superior Foes Onward. So if you were to ask me, Alex, I'm playing a Silver Age tournament, what should I play? To answer you is basically anything you're playing in Modern right now is still good in Silver Age. You just may be able to switch out certain things. So some key figures that you have access to again. So if we're going back, what was it? The Wayback Machine. Let's put up the Wayback Machine. Nothing great from Captain Marvel. You do have Korath or Phil Coulson, Skull Technician. Was that the one? No, there's one that took her objects or something, right? Scientist? Yeah. Scientist. The other Phil Coulson, remember that was the cool one that would that you could just KO an object. When an equipment object would be dropped or KO'd, you may remove Tradecraft to equip it to Coulson or adjacent friendly instead. So there were some tricks with those. Earth X. Nothing really in Earth X. We've kind of gone through these before. You've got access to your old trouble alerts, old location bonuses from BTAS. Avengers Infinity. One thing to keep in mind with Avengers Infinity is that there's not a lot going on with Avengers Infinity. You got Star Fox, sure, who doesn't really hold up as well as he used to, at least in my opinion. I mean, there's no more knockback damage, so maybe he does hold up. I haven't actually tested him. But you got Giant Girls back, both versions. You got Tidal Wasp back, Tyler's Giganto and Namor. I think the bigger one out of all this is we get Groot back, 20-point Groot for that cheap leadership for Cosmic Monster and Ruler. So we're back to the Walking Woods, which is pretty big. You've obviously got your ID cards. Now, Quasar. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, Johnson Flamethrower. Awesome name, by the way. I remember, I was talking about this the other day. I'm not a huge fan of this Quasar. I really, really liked the Age of Ultron one. This Quasar, where is he? This one, that's a Quasar right there. Steel energy, but with range, yeah. Leadership, 11 for 5, 2 targets. Quasar. This other one, you know, they did the weird Avengers Infinity. They all got flurry and stuff. Yes, definitely top tier character. Yeah, I was very excited when we got this Quasar. And then immediately disappointed. But then still remotely happy that we got this Quasar. Same with Photon. Like, I like the Photon. I like the Tigra. I honestly like almost all of them. Except maybe Thor. Except maybe Thor. So your Groots are the big ones coming out of here. I don't think any of the cosmic entities, the big three you're gonna see, or big four, I guess, are good enough. No living tribunal. He's up there with most favorite useless chases. Yeah. Up there with, well, I mean, he's way more useful than the Bizarro chases from Joker's Wild, which we'll get to. Xavier School. A lot of pieces in Xavier School because you get all the headmasters back. You get the ID cards back. Now, I know everyone is very apprehensive about ID cards, right? Everyone was excited ID cards are going away. Couple things I would keep in mind because I've done a deep dive into Silver Age. So some things to keep in mind about Silver Age and ID cards. One, our sideline has never been more full than it is right now. You've got Trouble Alerts, you've got Destroyer Prime. If you're a switch out team, your sideline is just packed. Period. You got Shifting Focus, you got Scroll Spies, you've got all sorts of stuff filling up your sideline, and we're getting a bunch of Trouble Alerts back. That I think it's unlikely that you see teams with a lot of ID characters. Now, I'll mention it once, mention it multiple times. Dr. Thing also takes away ID character, a ID character if you're worried about one. But another thing to keep in mind is that when you look at all these ID cards that we've gotten, Sprite, Artie, Leech, Rusty, Skids, all new Wolverine, we don't have a lot of new ones. Jubilee is the closest one we've got that's like actually cool because you can wait until you could go to that other world map and bring her in if you want to. Like you could play her and bring her in later. But like Cyclops, have we gotten a crazy good Cyclops? No. Have we gotten a crazy good Iceman? No. Now the old ones are still good, but we haven't got new ones that are like amazing. Jean Grey? No, because you can't use it to bring in Dark Phoenix or anything. It's still how it is, so no. Emma Frost? Magneto's up there, and Wolverine is up there. Those are probably the two that I would say, okay, they may have gotten better. That's about it, though, for all these. Most of these other ones, you're probably still playing the pieces you were playing before. We haven't gotten new pieces that just rocket them up the list and say, oh, that's a must play. The other IDs, which if you didn't know, I learned this from PJ, ID Dash gives you all the IDs, except for the Days of Future Past ones, which we needed to have looked at. So, Days of Future Past ones, those are still, will be legal in Silver Age. You've got another Wolverine. Cape Pride's a pretty big one because you could call in Pirate one and then bring out a Pog. Yeah, that's okay. Colossus. I don't feel like we have a lot of good Colossus, so that's fine. Rachel Summers. We don't have a lot of good Rachel Summers. Storm. We've got a couple Storms. Magneto. Always good. And we can't forget their inspirations. Penetrating Psychic Blast, Energy Explosion, Running Shot, Charge, Exploit, Blaze Claws. Those are all solid. All solid. These old ones, that's not the set. That's a set. These old ones, none of the students had inspirations. Angel, ESD, Beast, Combat Reflexes, Force Blast, Boo, Barrier, Passenger 1. I mean, okay. Mind Control, okay. Phasing, TK. 3 targets is something to look at. And then 3 heal a click. I guess that's okay. Rise and Fall Colossus is literally unkillable late game with his rally. Let me look. I haven't looked at that Colossus. Colossus. When he uses Impervious before rolling the d6, you may instead remove a rally die and use the result. I mean, I guess so, unless you just shoot through Impervious, right? You can just pen-psi him. The only Colossus that might have a play, I believe, was from this one. This Colossus at 75. I could see maybe this Colossus seeing play purely for his defensive power. Defend invincible during the attack. Adjacent friendly characters that replace their defensive value with Colossuses can use invulnerability. That's pretty big. So if you know you're going against a team that has just normal EE and not penetrating EE, you can maybe call him in as a defensive maneuver. It's not great, but it's something. So I would just say, be calm about the IDs. I know a lot of people are a little apprehensive. They want them banned. I did a deep dive on it. I've been talking with a lot of players like PJ, Dan, and others, and we're all kind of in agreement that like IDs were annoying. They could be annoying, but there's things now that could definitely use having an ID to come in and help mitigate some things. So it is what it is. If we were going, you still, oh, yeah, we weren't done. You also had the DC Arkham Asylum IDs, which don't get excited. There's not many to get excited about. We have Harley. Harley's probably the best. I guess I've been playing Impervious wrong all these years. I didn't know Penetrating went through a 5 or 6. I always thought it was like super senses. Yeah, so what it is, let's pull up a pack real quick. I just don't want to say it without showing some evidence of it. So Impervious says reduce damage taken by 2. When you would take damage from attack, you roll a d6. 5 and 6 damage taken is reduced to 0. When this character penetrating is when this character makes range attack, damage dealt is penetrating, and penetrating means that it can't be reduced. What penetrating damage means. So regardless of what happens here, like even you roll a 5 or 6, it says damage taken is reduced to 0. Damage dealt is damage taken is reduced to 0. And so penetrating says you can't reduce it. This damage is not reduced. That's why Invincible prevents it, because Invincible says reduce damage taken by 2 can reduce penetrating damage. That's where it comes into play. Now, if you have a trait that allows you to reduce penetrating damage, so for example, Emperor Gladiator, he has his thing where if he has a confidence token, he can reduce penetrating damage. So that means when you have Impervious, no problem, Johnson. Yeah, but for something like Imperial Gladiator, he has Impervious, but he has a separate thing that says, hey, if he's got a confidence token, he can reduce penetrating. So in that case, you would want to roll Impervious because you can reduce it down to 0, even if it's penetrating. But that's because he has this other trait that says, yeah, you can reduce that. That's where that comes into play. And hey, it's okay if you've played it wrong in your home games or something like that. This game is pretty complicated, and you can even house rules it if you want. It's just important to know in case you go play locally or you play online or something, that you know how the rules work, so that way you're not stuck or, you know, you get tripped up or something. Anyway, so let's go through a few more pieces and then we'll wrap this up for tonight. A little shorter than usual. I'm kind of, you haven't seen me yawning. I've been falling asleep a little bit. So the big call-ins with DC, you've got your figures like Two-Face, you've got your figures like Poison Ivy. There's a couple Poison Ivies that are okay, and BTAS. They could call in, bring in a plant. Your main ones are going to be Joker and Harley. That is my inherent problem. Been playing on and off for over a decade, but have not played with anyone but myself in a long time, a very long time. Hey, you should, unless you live out in the middle of nowhere, you should see if there's a local group to play. If not, try to recruit people. But nothing wrong with playing by yourself or with family or anything like that. All right, so oh. It's easy to learn something incorrectly if there's no one to challenge your rules. Now, if you're, once again, if you're playing by yourself, you can technically play HeroClix however you want. When I was playing with my youngest, we played without any powers. We just learned the dials, how to move, attack, roll dice, all of that. And then we added stuff in. So there's nothing wrong with that. I wasn't playing the game wrong. I was just playing it different. So no worries if you were doing Impervious wrong. That one's a little tricky. But this is interesting. I hadn't thought about. So Harley, if you call her in, she has Intimidation. When an ID character is placed on the map, choose one of the last to your next turn. Opposing characters within 3 squares can't use the listed intimidation powers, or opposing characters within 3 squares modify attack -1. Hers is Exploit. That's actually pretty big. Like, she kind of skyrockets up to one of my favorites, because good old Sky Tyrant comes in with his Flurry Exploit, and you pop her out first turn. He can't use that exploit. So you neuter him for a turn, gives you time to set up. It's not bad. And there's some good Harleys out there. I mean, not that one. Wild Dial. Oh yeah, it's in the Harley set. The good ones are. Like, that one's okay. The best one you're probably doing is the Title Harley. But you could call her in and then immediately do her Energy Explosion 13, and everyone gets an action token, and it's free, and so she could do something else with it. So, but that's pretty cool. Hey there, would you name some meta popper stuff? Sure thing, Thiago. Popper. All right. So let's look at commons. I assume modern age. Are you talking purely modern popper? So if we're talking modern popper, pieces I would be looking at. You'll probably want some scroll spies on your sideline for sure. None of these. Smasher isn't bad. I kind of like Smasher. You could go robots, but I feel like robots is a little bit of a cop-out. Not that Medusa. You could do like some thing robots with some sidekicks. That's not bad either. Kind of like a Kid Loki destroyer thing, because they could take a power action, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn, move thing robot, or make a close attack. I forgot whose team it was. They pulled something out with that. I can't remember. Are the deep cuts legal in Pauper? The deep cuts. Or are they not considered pauper? I know it's commons and uncommons, but I don't know if deep cuts what they're considered. Here they're considered common. If they are legal, then I'll just say at these low points, super good. Human Torch by far is the best. 20-point barrier. It's a 1-point barrier. And stop, energy, enhancement, stop. Like, I would be stacking up like 4 of these bad boys. Getting down there, if there was any pobs, if there's any pogs, then Dr. Elliot Gregor, but I don't think there's a lot in commons and uncommons. You have access to Mary Jane, so maybe. What does he say? 1 to all combat values. Paparazzi, 11 for 1. Nah. Now you should still have access to forming the new Fantastic Four, because that's uncommon. Invisible Woman. And then you got these Human Torches, so you could probably make a pretty solid Fantastic Four team. Oh, is it Highlander? I didn't know it was Highlander. Oh, it's Highlander. You just pick 1 Human Torch. It's not that big of a deal. It still gives you enhancement. I don't really play or have thought about Pauper. This is a good thought process. I mean, you'll probably want Magneto, and I haven't done any of the uncommons, so you could go with some of the Danger Room figures. I feel like that's a little bit of a cop-out, though. Shifty Focus isn't bad between just the 2. It's not great, but it's not bad. Amaza is always a good pick. I'll always advocate for playing an Amaza with robots. That's pretty solid. We'll look at uncommons. Skip that set. Cyclops, Daredevil's not bad. Okay, so you got some pieces to work with. Amazo is delicious. I mean, if you're planning on eating Amazo, I don't know, but yeah, Amazo is real good. And I think you still get his team up cards because they're kind of came along with him. New War of the Realm Blade. Really? Let me look at him. Was he a common? Did I just skip over him because it was War of the Realm? Steel Energy. So they got to roll a 6. I can see it. I can see it. If they roll a 6, then he basically gains a stop click. I get that. So yeah, I would consider that. You could maybe play him on a monster or mystical. Let's go back to uncommons real quick. Get a little further down. Got more Fantastic Four to play with. Zorn is pretty good. Moira, underrated. Not really feeling much of this, except for, you know, some of these autonomous guys. Don't miss Meta. You had a little too much Cervezos tonight there, Jalen. Daniel Burkhardt's not bad either. He's the one that says you can't use like shape change or stuff, right? Or stealth. You can't use stealth. If you need a powerhouse, we'll get obviously to the Colossals. Obviously, those won't be around that much longer. Valeria Richards is super solid. She gives you the double perplex. That if you share a keyword, but she also can choose a power, so attack power. So that's big for like a TK, precision strike, EE, whatever you need, pulse wave even. That's big, very big. Jolt. Victor Monch is not bad for Avengers, by the way, because they can mastermind to him and he has invulnerability. I tried that, and it's pretty solid in certain circles. And then you got Sabretooth, you've got Sentinels, you got Nimrod, Proteus, Onslaught, which someone mentioned Onslaught, Rickiel. Mentioned Onslaught. Onslaught's good. Juggernaut's good. You could just play 300 Juggernaut and probably be okay in certain things because he gets the ability to giant size, so he can roll to take tokens off. Medusas aren't bad. Like you could probably, because the Living Hair has autonomous, so you could still get away with playing 3 of those with where is she? Scarlet Witch? That's not bad. Because her hair has precision strike, so oh, it's Highlander. That's right. So you would only get to play one of them. I forget that it's Highlander. But that's okay. I think there's other people you can drop and still do stuff with. Let me think. I think Blade. Didn't Blade have Avengers? So you can put Blade on your team as well. Let's see. Is there an Avengers? A solid Avengers. Team out here. Anybody else do anything after being carried? Isn't there like a beast or something that does something? Yeah, so you have this beast that could do it too. He's got Avengers. Yeah, Jalen, we're talking about Popper. It was brought up. What do I think about with Popper? So there might be like a version of a drop-off team that you can maybe pull off with Medusas and a Medusa beast and maybe another piece or two. But until rotation happens, obviously it's going to be the big guns that throw everything off, in my opinion. The Onslaughts, the Proteus, the Nimrods. It's just going to throw things off. It's going to be a little wonky until they're gone. Because you could even reasonably play Phoenix at 175, and that's not bad. You can play Green Dragon Puff. There you go. Sasquatch. Yeah, the Genesis Beast is still good. Wasn't there a beast in this that was pretty good? Yeah, it's the +2 perplex that he had. So yeah, it's okay. I haven't really thought about Popper because there's not been a ton of Popper tournaments. And right now I'm just focused on Silver Age because I know Silver Agers, we have tournaments coming up for Silver Age. So pumped about that. All right. So, yeah, so if you're excited about Silver Age or not yet excited about Silver Age, you should be. We got some tournaments coming up. It's going to be real great. I've been working on, excuse me, the past month or so, trying to get some things going with Silver Age because it's kind of the forgotten format. And it's no good if it's forgotten format because it is technically with kids like WizKids supported or WizKids created. Like they're the ones who made it. And it's just unfortunate it came out when it came out because there's 7 at tournaments outside of the Scott Porter. And then that one was kind of like a mix. That was kind of a mixed one. So that was one where we banned a bunch of stuff because we wanted it to be lower down. So alright, well, it's been an hour and 15. I'm gonna cut it a little short today. We discovered Asgardian is not meta. I tried a little bit, couldn't figure it out. Wasn't feeling up for that. We talked a little bit about Silver Age. I'll try to build a team next time, an actual Silver Age team, and see where that goes. But yeah, for now, thank you guys for checking in. Don't forget to go ahead and follow me on Twitch. That way you can see when I'm live. I try to go live every Thursday night. And I'll probably hopefully stream some other stuff in the mornings or something as well. And on YouTube. All of you watching on YouTube, feel free to head over to Twitch at Kuzinator. Feel free to follow. But thank you guys for joining me tonight, and I will see you guys next week.